This is the LowcoSports Lowdown podcast. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr.
Sure enough, here we are, Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr. Welcome, LowcoSports fans, to another edition of the LowcoSports Lowdown. That's what we do on Thursday nights, talking general sports here in the Loco, which, of course, right now centers a lot about basketball and wrestling. So we'll be talking about that a lot. But we've also got some multi-sport stars in our midst tonight, booked on the show. A couple of guys who did damage on the football field this fall, and we're both, I believe, both were a part of that Joanne Langfit showcase this weekend for the underclassmen. So, two big prospects in the area with Carnell Warren and Alonzo Allen, who are now playing their trades in other sports. Carnell showed out the other night on the basketball court for Bluffton on his birthday. Had a big night. You told us about it on the Loco Hoops Report. They got the win against Buford. And then Alonzo Allen joining us tonight. It's his birthday today, and he's about to make his wrestling debut for the season on Saturday. He's been focused on football with that showcase coming up. Great opportunity for him to turn some heads, and we'll talk with both guys about that opportunity and experience that they had and what it could mean for their recruitment for football. But multi-sport guys, and Zoe's getting ready to put on the headgear this weekend, Saturday at the Low Country Championships at Hilton Head High, which we'll talk about a little bit more too. We did dip into that on the Loco grind last night, but we will definitely dive a little deeper into that. I started looking at the registrations and scoping out some good matchups. So I'm really excited for wrestling this weekend with everybody in one place. So that's gonna be a great time. But how you doing, Wes? I mean, we saw you just last night at the Loco grind, but how was your day?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Yeah, we've been busy. It's a lot going on as we get into the winter sports season, and that was so much fun last night being a part of this first ever Loco grind, as you mentioned. And man, we have some stars in our midst. Just looking at these guys who have taken this wrestling arena by storm already, and your son is a big part of that, so he's going to be the up and comer. But it was just awesome to talk with his coaches.
We'll see. He's getting started, and we'll see how far he goes. It
And
takes a lot of
well
dedication to get really good at the sport.
Carlo Peruzza as well.
Oh yeah, he was terrific, right?
Yeah.
The fight doctor, awesome. Carlo Peruzza. Yeah, no, he's killing it with his MMA stuff, and we're really proud of everything he's done. Coming through the program, so to speak, working with this and just kind of finding his way and finding what brought him joy and energy and going out and becoming the best he could at that. So it's been really cool to see him grow, just like we watch the athletes grow through the years and develop their games and take them to the next level. So has Carlos. So been great to bring him into the fold. And we'll definitely, as wrestling season fades, out of the picture and wrestling news is a little more sporadic, we'll definitely shift the gears a little bit and focus more on the MMA and boxing and different combat sports. So we'll try to introduce all kinds of different characters from that universe right here in the Loco. But we've got some good stuff to talk about tonight, including with Carnell Warren, who was with me briefly, and then we lost his devices. So we'll see if he can get it back up. When we see you pop back up, Carnell, we'll chat with you. But not much going on tonight. Colleton Prep had basketball games. I haven't seen scores last night, but going through the last couple of nights, and it looks like Carnell's trying to get his connection sorted out. But last night, wrestling, we talked a lot on the grind about the JP2 Bridges, Colleton Prep, Thomas Hayward, Bamberg Earhart quad, but we didn't have scores yet from Beaufort High, where the Eagles took the night, but barely, 41-39 against Hilton Head. They also beat Colleton 66-12 and Whale Branch 81-0, which was surprising. Wow. Hilton Head 48-18 over Colleton County and 60-12 over Whale Branch, but Whale Branch beat Colleton 56-18. So those were the results. And again, Zoe is probably their best guy right now, and he's not on the mat yet. So we'll see him Saturday at 175, which will be a lot of fun. He's going to be a handful at that weight. Echevarria from May River is very good there. that could be a potential good matchup. So looking forward to that. But we've got Carnell back, so let's get Carnell Warren in here from the Bluffton Bobcats. Carnell, what's going on, man? We had you for a minute, we lost you, we got you back. We were talking a little bit before, about your transition over to Bluffton this year. You had been at May River last year, and you found a great home over there. You've had success on the football field and now on the basketball court. So tell us a little bit about just making that switch, and it's got to be kind of tough, a little anxious. You're not sure how you'll mesh with your new teammates or whatever, but it seems like it's been a good fit for you.
Well, the transfer was just a really big move. My family and me just had a long thought and decision through the process, but everything's going good. I felt like it was a really great decision on me, and it played a big part of my life at the moment. So,
Yeah, and I got to see you ball out in the basketball court after that outstanding football season, propelling you guys to a really nice win over a scrappy Buford team. So, how fun has it been, trading off the pads and the football cleats for the basketball shoes?
it took me a good little minute to get back to the game, but it was actually pretty fun after a tough first round loss in football. But just to come back, play another sport, and just keep at it is really good.
Yeah. Did you go to that showcase? You were in that showcase this weekend, right, for football?
No,
No,
no, sir, I didn't.
you
We
didn't
had
go
a
to that.
game. We had a game on Saturday versus Battery Creek, so
Okay.
I couldn't make it out there.
That's right. Okay, yeah, I got you. But you did have a big season on the football field. Your recruiting profile definitely kind of jumped up. You got that offer from Georgia Tech, definitely got some attention. So what are you thinking? I mean, you're a multi-sport guy, but is football the main one? Is that what you're aiming for at the next level?
Yeah, so I'm thinking, football. I think it's set in stone for me right now. I feel like just because how everything's just going, as I'm just a sophomore right now, and I feel like I could go a really long way as long as I just keep at everything I'm doing.
So,
You
so
got great
to take me
size.
through this past spring and summer, you were obviously a former May River Shark. Now you were a Boston Bobcat. Just tell me about this transition process and how it's been, moving to a new school and being instantly a big part of this football program under Hayden Gregory.
Well, so actually at Bluffton, I had a couple of friends over there that were trying to convince me to come from the jump and everything. But, just thinking about it, I was like, dang, like May River, my guys over there also, really tough football team. The process is really good over there. And then me and Brandon Bryant, like really close friend, just talked every day about it and just kept it in the back of my mind until it came time where I felt like I just had to go at Bluffton and just jump in the role spot at wide receiver because they lost a lot of good keys to the team. So felt like I had to add on to it.
Yeah, you kind of slid in where Jalen Linder had been before, that big-bodied guy who could stretch the field, but also be a possession guy when needed.
Yes, sir.
And I thought you kind of slid into that role really well. And Jalen's a guy who is playing at the next level at South Carolina State, so that's a good mold to fit into. But let's talk about this basketball team a little bit because it seems like Coach Gabriel has come in and really instilled kind of his system, and it's been kind of inconsistent for you guys a little bit early on as far as the execution goes, but I think that goes with a new coach and a new system. How are you feeling about how you guys are transitioning and starting to come together as a team?
Well, right now, everything's slow, just new coach. Everybody's just getting brought in. Bluffton in the past wasn't really like anything big and special when it came to the basketball. So now that Coach Gabriel came in, he set the tone and just let us know what we have to do to win. So I feel like we're going to be a really good team by January comes in region play. As long as we just keep taking everything serious. You got a really good team, athletic, shooters, everything that you need. A little small on size, but everything's going to come together.
Oh, you're on mute, Wes.
You had a
There
big
we go.
cheering section with you back on Tuesday because it was your birthday. So, talk about that experience of playing in front of your family on your birthday and throwing down a nasty dunk as well.
Just birthday vibes. Everything was just feeling good that game. We started off really hot versus a pretty solid Buford team that we play again tomorrow. So I feel like whenever I just got the dunk, see my family there for my birthday, it just set the tone even more. Just had to bring the energy and just rise it up with everybody on the team. So
Yeah, you definitely get a little extra juice on your birthday for sure.
yes, sir.
But so you face that Buford team, and man, you guys did a really good job on them defensively. They've got some weapons. Samari You guys were able to slow him down. It seems like you guys are really buying in on defense and really getting scrappy at that end of the floor. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, defense wins games for sure. We work on defense a lot throughout the week in practice. I feel like that's like our main key because right now we're not really scoring a lot. So what our coach says is, as long as you can play defense and just hold them under 45, then we're good where we're at. So
yeah, it's a lot easier to win.
yes, sir.
Yeah, if you don't let them score, it's much harder to lose when you're making some stops and making them work for those buckets, especially inside. And give some props to your teammates, particularly Aiden McCarthy, who I thought
Yes, sir.
done really well on defense. And then on top of that, just take me through how you guys have really dug in defensively, pressing for a good part of some of these possessions to help force some mistakes from the other team. But Aiden was locked in. How proud are you of what he did?
Aiden, kid's a dog, just straight like that. I feel like the mindset that he has is that no one's better than him down low, and he just keeps his head forward. So everything's good with him. We already know how Aiden's going to treat us this year with him being down low in the post, really good size and everything. And just the defense is just key to us because we know everything's just slow right now for offense, but we'll get into the groove with the offense. So we just play as hard as defense we can, get rebounds, and run the floor so everything can come a tad bit easier than what it is.
And he's probably gonna be your QB next year, it looks like too. And he got a little opportunity this year at times. So you guys probably have a pretty nice connection
Yes, sir.
as well. That's got to be cool. But talk a little bit about what you expect from him next year on the football field, because I was pretty impressed with what we saw in limited action this year.
I feel that me and Aiden could be a top 2026 duo to step up and just show what we can really do. Just because I feel Aiden, like I said, he keeps his head straight. He really wants to get in and show what he can do. And this year, with him being behind Owen Bays and coming in when we needed him, he stepped up and did what he had to do. Great arm, great talent, and everything just comes pretty natural with us because we came from May River together. So I feel like with us just being together for the last couple of years, everything's just a tad bit better. Coach Greg, really good coach. Coach Karkoff, OC, really great. And our O-line holding up for him. So we will be dominant next year for sure.
Yeah, I really thought it started to click midway through, and obviously not the way you wanted to end it on that last game, but to beat Hilton Head, rival team from across the bridge, to beat May River, that was a big win, huge win for this program, because that has become the marquee rivalry, not just in the region, but I think in the entire locals in general when it comes to football. It's Buford and May River, crosstown rivals. So how important was it to get that win over the Sharks this year? And for you, yourself, Brandon Bryant, and Owen Bays to finish off his time here with a couple big rivalry wins.
Well, this year we had a big plan. It was to show everybody what we could really do, so-called as a finesse team this year. But passing the ball, one of the best things that we could do because we got the athletes and the players that go make the play. So whenever we got the win on May River, we kept our heads straight that week throughout practice and know what we had to do to get it done because they're a really tough physical team. Run the ball well with Tanner, Jordan Williams, and a really great O-line. So our defense played up to what they had to do. Jeremiah Curry, our linebackers, Josh Bond, and everybody, D-line. And then when it came to offense, we knew we could execute and just do what we did on the offensive side of the ball.
Well, you've seen quite a few of the area teams already on the boys' side, in the early season here. Not too much of your region. We've seen what they've done against others, but what are you thinking about how this region's shaken up? Because we've been talking a lot about how we think, James Island is kind of the front runner, I think, but man, it feels like everybody else is pretty close as far as the talent level, and it feels like we're going to have a lot of really close games that come down to the wire when we get to region play.
Our region, I say, it's solid all around. We got Lucy Beckham, lost a lot of seniors this year, so we feel that's like a huge, it's just a really good chance for us to show what we can really do.
Yeah.
Lucy Beckham losing a lot of people, but Collington also returning a lot of people.
Yeah.
But we feel that as long as we just play our game versus any and everybody, we can really come out to win. So everything should be good. May River has a pretty solid squad and everything.
Yeah.
Just got to play basketball and just listen to the coach and see
you
what we can
guys
do.
get bluffed or you guys get Buford again on Friday after seeing them just a few days back. So tell me about how you you're looking to get back at it and try to go for a sweep of an Eagles team that I think you'd expect to be a little bit more scrappy and adjust a bit at home to try to defend you guys. But
And you
it's
got to
got
deal with those Kirkland crazies. That's
yeah.
never any fun.
We feel that Buford would just come out. I feel the coach feels that our coach feels that they'll just come out playing a lot slower. They'll try to settle it down because our defense was really just brought in, packed in, and we feel like on defense they'll slow it down, not play us man because they see that we can drive. We actually finished layups that night and we're shooting the ball really well. So with them getting in zone, I feel like they think that it will slow us down, but we'll keep playing basketball the way we do.
They get in that zone, you're just going to count on Jamari and those Khalil and those guys who can bang it from three to shoot it over them, right? And you can hit it.
Yes,
You can
sir.
hit outside shot too. You guys can knock down some outside shots. So that's the key when you're playing that zone. But hey, man, we appreciate you hopping on with us, and we'll definitely talk with you much more over the next couple of years as you develop as a prospect and a standout here in the Loco. We've loved watching you play, man, and look forward to seeing you continue to mature as a player and young man.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Y'all have a nice night.
All right, thanks, Carnell Warren from Bluffton High School, multi-sports standout, and good young man. He's still young, he's still raw, he's still growing up, but you can see some serious potential there. And obviously, the offer from Georgia Tech says
Yeah,
a
I mean, that's
lot.
big time
Um,
to get, offer from Division I ACC school like that. But, we saw it all year long with the way he was able to reach up and grab some key passes this year from Owen Bays, and super athletic. He's got great hands, great reach, great extensions. He spots the ball really well. He's become a reliable target on the outside alongside his partner in crime and Brandon Bryant. But it didn't take long for him to develop that chemistry, and that's as he talked about, he's a dedicated athlete who has certainly learned to find the tools he needs to get there from here. And he's got himself in a good track record. Only a sophomore, which is it's pretty crazy when you look at what he's already done. Showing
right.
out in the football field and already picking up that offer. Still 2 more years to go. I think we could see some big things from him going forward, and that's another guy that we will keep our eyes on. I mean, not just us, but South Carolina football in general, because he's already proven what he could do at just another classman level. So expect him to take more of the bigger reins of this offense in terms of being that guy out wide, and maybe finding a niche as well on the other side of the ball when need be, because you got to play your stars both ways to win at the high school football level, and that's something I'm sure they're going to take into account as well. But he looks to be a big part of that of this football squad moving forward. But I'm excited to see what he could do for basketball, because we talk about those basketball players that turn into good football players, but they go hand in hand sometimes, and especially those pass catchers, because he is a rebounding machine out there on the floor.
Yeah, he's just an athlete. I mean, he's great on the track too. He flies on the track too.
Yeah.
So he's just an athlete, and like I said, still a little raw. Like he's still sharpening the fundamentals and the technique and things, and still growing up. I mean, he's what, 15 years old. Like we got to remember how young some of these 15, 16-year-old kids are. The emotional maturity is still coming, and by the time they get to be juniors and seniors, you start to see them as fully formed student athletes, and he's well on his way. I mean, physically and athletically, he's incredible, and you can see the intangibles growing as time goes on. So I was impressed talking with him. I mean, he's got the right mentality and attitude, and that's sometimes the most difficult thing especially for kids who really excel physically early. I think they have a tendency when it gets hard to get frustrated because it's always been easy, and they've never really had to work through adversity. And then they get to that level where they're playing against kids 3 and 4 years older than them, and they have some adversity, and it gets frustrating, and sometimes they they don't know how to manage that frustration and have to grow through that and grow up into it. And I've seen Carnell grow. I mean, I've seen him get frustrated at times on the field and take his helmet off or silly things like that. But I've also seen him growing up in real time too. And I thought our conversation tonight was indicative of that. So great to see that growth with him and to see that Bluffton Bobcat team having success with their new coach. Looking forward to seeing that era continue to develop. But some other basketball results through the week. Anything that stood out to you in particular over these last few days that you wanted to analyze in a little more detail?
Yeah, well, we've kind of, there hasn't been too much else that has happened on Wednesday and Thursday, but just looking overall on the week, I think what stood out was what Battery Creek did, the run that the boys team is on, the way they're able to battle on the road with that crazy double overtime win.
Yeah.
We talked about that a lot on the Hoops podcast, but CJ Brown has got that group playing some inspired basketball, and what a wild, crazy double overtime that was. I mean, you just
it was
got
bananas. It was like all defense too. I think there was only one field goal in the second overtime period, and that was the game winner. Like that was wild.
It was crazy. Buford's in a little bit of a cold streak. They lost to a good Somerville team on Wednesday, and I
really good Somerville team, undefeated Somerville team.
That. I mean, that's a really solid team. But Buford, like I said,
kind of been through the grinder. They kind of been through the grinder lately. I think they ran out of gas for a little.
But Colleton County picked up a couple of wins, girls and boys over in North Charleston. So yeah, good to see that take care of business against a lower tier 3A team, but still, it's nice to.
Yeah, but North Charleston's sometimes problematic. The boys in particular can be pretty good at times. Some years. So, I think that's a pretty scrappy win, and they beat Stall earlier this week too, which I think that one came in after we wrapped Hoops Report, so we hadn't really talked about it. But they kind of took a step back and lost a couple games in a row, but then they've popped right back and won a couple. So, I think they're a resilient team, like we talked about with a lot of senior leadership. And that matters. Seniors don't give up on their season when it starts to go the wrong way. They just don't. It's the last chance. They're going to keep fighting. But those are good calls. I'm still impressed with both JP2 teams have been solid. Looking forward to getting out to see them again soon. Both May River teams have been off to good starts. The girls are 3-1 now and avenged the one loss. So that matters to me when you come back and beat somebody who beat you before.
Right, because that shows good coaching. It shows good work ethic.
Growth. It shows growth.
I mean, that's the money word right there, growth. I mean, that's what you want to see from that first game to where you get to as you continue and eventually to the end where you put yourself in a chance to compete in the postseason. But, 46-33 over Ridge and Hardyville. And some players we haven't really talked about much, like Liz Duncan and Ashley Williams, who, are starting to step in and find their roles. Brooke Dalton, we've known her for a while, but, we're starting to see some other players find themselves on this team. So, I'm excited for the Sharks group. Bigham's been a great coach. I mean, they had that run to the lower state finals a couple years back, but after that senior class, we haven't
they had a couple lean years there.
Yeah, but Bigham's a good coach, and it's great to see a start like this. Start to get things excited over there, and the boys are certainly scrapping as well. That May River squad, 63-42, Tanner Macy going off. Talked about a lot during the football season and the athlete that he's become, but Gage Duncan putting in some good work as well. They're on the right track. Ridgeland, though, that boys team is going the wrong direction.
Yeah, they're kind of going the wrong direction. New coach there too, and the new coach thing can go either direction, and I'm not sure that it's meshing really well right now. You hope they can get it, on the right path going into the holidays. But yeah, kind of lagging in the wrong direction right now. But it's a long season, and you go through adversity early so that you can grow through it and get better going into the second half. So hopefully they can get things going over there again at Ridgeland, because they got some talent. They've got some really talented players. Let's shout out some sponsors, and then we'll get to our next guest, the MVP sponsors of Loco Sports. Start with Megan Jarrett, my wife and the official realtor of Loco Sports. She's with Keller Williams of the Low Country, and she'd love to help you find your place in the Loco, whether it's a starter home or a forever home, maybe even an investment property. Call on Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of the Loco Sports and the queen bee of the Loco Hive. She'll get you a search set up, find you that perfect home, and then we'll have our friends at Homegrown Home Inspections take a look at it. Jan Lucas and his team are the best in the business. They provide expertise and customer service that is unmatched in the Loco with every home inspection. So let them be your eyes and ears and your biggest advocate until move-in day at Homegrown Home Inspections. And then when it's time to sign the papers, we'll go to the Mickelson Law Firm, official real estate closing attorneys of Loco Sports, our original sponsors since 2017. We love Ryan and Tiffany Mickelson and their team. So call on them for all your legal needs. And Hospice Care of the Low Country, wonderful caring staff over there led by my great friend CEO James Dismond. They take care of folks at the end of life, which is just yeoman's work. So important that folks are treated with respect and have their wishes met at the end of life, because at Hospice Care of the Low Country, it's not about dying, it is about living. And those are our MVP sponsors. And now we welcome in a friend of the program, frequent guest, Alonzo Allen, and he's still got another year after this, so he's going to be an even more frequent guest. But Zoe, what's going on, man? You're ready to shift gears now. You've been footballing for months now. It's time to wrestle. I'm a wrestling guy, so I'm excited about that and seeing you this Saturday. But let's reflect on football season first. You guys had a great run, and then just tough breaks at the end, losing to Bamberg and then turning around and having to come back short-handed in the playoffs and came up short. But then you had an opportunity this weekend to compete in that Joanne Langfit combine, which is a great opportunity for the underclassmen. So tell us a little bit about your junior football season and what you feel like you were able to accomplish as an individual, as a team, and then what went down this weekend.
Yes, sir. I'll say it was an okay season.
It was great until it wasn't.
I'm just saying, but for me, as a team, it was a good season. But for me, that was a little little lackluster for me, though. I mean, because going from 10 games to 9 games, it's
Yeah.
kind of hard to get my stats out. But I mean, I still had a pretty good season, putting out 60 plus tackles, 9 TFLs, couple PBUs, 2 touchdowns. I mean, it was a pretty decent season. As you said, I just came out the weekend with the link for combine, which was good. I think I clocked in at like 19 or 20 miles per hour. That's my top speed.
Nice.
My team did win the whole thing. Well, we won the 7-on-7 in the tug of war.
Tug of war, very nice.
Yeah, I like that.
And I still got one more thing for football before that's officially end for the year.
What's
Awesome.
that?
High school blitz junior bowl. They got
on.
the best 88 juniors in the country in the state.
Fantastic.
In the state. Nice.
Yeah.
Very
Excellent.
good.
Yeah, well, that's awesome stuff, and was really, happy to watch you play, and your team was, obviously the ending wasn't what you wanted, but the way you fought and competed and the swagger that you guys played with that year was really fun. And you still got one more season, so what do you want to see yourself improve upon now that you went through this combine, you went through this grinding season, now getting ready for a big senior year and really a big summer ahead of your senior year in spring. What is next for you in terms of improvements and getting your game to where you want it to be by the fall?
I still want to be a little more stronger, a little faster, but as of just football, I think my ball skills need to improve, and I need to be a better running back. That's just for me and to help the team win, because that was we gonna need next year. Because we do run the 2-man in the backfield, so I need to step up a little bit more.
Yeah, and you're always one injury away from having to step up a whole lot more back there, you know. So, and that's kind of what it came down to at the end is you had to get back there and run the ball a little bit. So, yeah, I hear you, man, and I appreciate that you're already thinking about what the team needs next year, regardless of what's necessarily best for you. First and foremost, what's the team need me to do? And that's what you're going to get up and do. But I do want to talk some wrestling because we debuted the Loco Grind last night. We're trying to help build this sport up in the low country, and I know you've been doing it for a good while now. You certainly recognize the benefit to cross training with that sport for football and really for any sport. But talk to me about how you got into wrestling and how long you've been doing it and what you love about it.
That's funny because my pop's probably in the other room listening in, but he really forced me to do it in, I believe, 7th grade. And I've been doing it. Well, I didn't do it my 8th grade year because I messed my knee up. But ever since then, that's just what I do to keep in shape, get more cut, learn a little bit more fundamentals as it crossovers into football, and even as when I track, it gets me more flexible for track because that flexibility goes into the speed, and then football just make me a better tackler.
No doubt.
Yep.
No doubt.
It goes
Last
hand
double leg works really good on the football field too.
Yeah, well, just tell me more about how this wrestling season has started and kind of what you hope to accomplish this year and what you hope to gain from it as you go through this winter and get ready for football again.
Well, I mean, it's always a learning experience because we go against different opponents week in and week out, day in, day out. But shoot, Saturday is gonna be my first matches of the year because I just got cleared from the trainers. Cause I messed my shoulder up a little bit, coming off of football season, a little dinged up. But I'm just excited for that. What was the other question?
Yeah, just talk about what you want to accomplish this year on the wrestling mat, in terms of success, but then just in terms of overall growth as an athlete before you get back to spring practice.
I mean, overall, I just want to get a ring, regardless of how I do. That's the ultimate goal, just get a ring. But since I do want to improve on, hopefully be top 10 this year because I was top 15 in the state last year in class 1A and AA because we combined those. But I mean, that's just taking a step further because we always got different opponents. You just got to win your matches because when you out there on the mat, it's 1-on-1. It ain't a team sport no more.
No.
It is you and another.
It's personal, brother. It's personal. It's you versus him, and you're either gonna win or you're gonna lose at the end of it. And there's a personal nature to it. And I think that's one of the great things about it. I think it really unlocks something inside of you that really helps you understand like how much you're really capable of when it's 1 versus 1 and everything's on the line. Like you can dig deep and find something you didn't know you had in that moment. But looking at the brackets or the registrations so far, we got a pretty good little bracket brewing at 175. We're gonna have some good scraps over there. You and I were texting earlier. I said Echeverria from May River is pretty good, and so you're already looking forward to maybe getting a shot at that at somebody like him. And I know for a 1A guy like you, it's got to be cool to get this opportunity to go up against the best in our county, in our area, and see where you stack up. I mean, you don't get to see these guys necessarily that much during the regular season, so this is cool. It's everybody's on an even playing field here. You excited for the opportunity?
Yes, sir. I'm always excited for opportunity, but it's me with my confidence. I feel like I'm the best in the county, but I just gotta go out there and prove that. So, yeah, Saturday I just gotta prove that.
And we gonna find out. It's gonna be fun.
That's the best part of it. You get the opportunity to hang your own, hold your own against the best here in the loco, and then you hopefully take momentum towards the rest of the season. But talk about your team, about this Whale Branch wrestling squad, and maybe some of your like fellow football players that are on there, and other guys that we should look out for that could find successes here on the mat?
Yes, sir. I must start off with two people that y'all should look out for. My boy Freddie Lawton.
Yep.
And Derek Clark.
Freddie's at 26. He's tough. He's tough. And then
Freddie,
Derek Clark.
Yes, sir. He's
Where's he at?
144, 145.
Yep.
I wrestle him.
Oh yeah, Derek McLeod. Yep, there you
go. Yeah, Derek McLeod. Yeah, I wrestle him every day. Shoot, even hard for me to take him down half the time. But yeah, he like that.
All right, we got a 144 that's going toe to toe with you in practice. That's gonna be a tough dude when he gets to wrestle on 144. That's gonna be a tough dude.
Hey, he one of the ones that once he get a hold of you, he ain't letting go. And he gonna get his move in. But even with my boy Coach White's son Wesley White.
Yeah.
He great too.
Outstanding.
Yeah, we
got some guys coming up over there.
Yes, sir. We got a pretty good team. We did, as long as we listen to our coaches, we should go pretty far. Even with us, I think we have 12 boys and 13 girls. So
nice.
Yes, sir.
You got 13 girls out? That's outstandanding.
Wow.
Outstanding. That's that might be more than any other school in the area. I mean, that's an outstanding number for a 1A
talk about
school.
that, and how cool is it to see those girls, chase those dreams on the wrestling mat, and what they're looking like, because that was really cool. Because girls wrestling these last years has skyrocketed. We've seen Zayo Estrada become a national sensation. We've seen a couple of other young ladies, earn their opportunity to continue their careers wrestling. So, how cool is it to have a girls team as well, not just following your footsteps, but looking to blaze their own path as well?
It's great. I mean, because they can ask me questions any day, but about wrestling, but seeing them work is amazing, because we really don't see that many girls wrestle. And we had two last year that went to state. They did pretty decent. But yeah, it is fun to see, because we really don't see girls wrestle.
Yeah, I mean, it's blowing up though. Like both my nieces wrestle in Kansas now. They got my old high school in Kansas has a full girls team now. I mean, they go do full girls duels. Sounds like you guys about to too, which is outstanding that we're getting to that level. But no, it's blowing up, man. It's one of the fastest growing women's sports at the college level. Colleges are adding it right and left, and it helps balance out the Title IX thing with men's wrestling, so that's good for them. But it's really, there's an opportunity there for girls who maybe haven't found, they're athletic, but they haven't found the sport that suits them. Maybe they're too small to really be effective at basketball or volleyball. Wrestling's an opportunity, and there's a path to college there as well. So don't sleep on that one either, man. You're gonna play football in college. I know that's the dream. But you can scrap pretty well too. Well, hey man, we appreciate talking with you always, and appreciate you staying up late with us. You got any more questions for him before he goes?
Yeah, I do. And I see the D. Delaney jersey on your wall in your rooms, and I'm sure you're a big fan of him and what he's done in the NFL. So just talk about how cool that is to see a former alum play in the league, and how you aspire to try to work in the same way that he did, and look to blaze your own trail behind him to potentially college football and maybe even the NFL.
Yeah, so it's amazing, because he just one call away from me. He just one call away, one text away from any advice. So it's just amazing for me, because I seen him when he was in high school, because my dad was a Royal branch at that time. So I mean, he's always been there, always been supportive. I always supported him, even when he was at the Citadel. Been to a couple games. But yes, sir, it's just amazing. I mean, always try to follow in greatness footsteps.
Well, and you got Ron Parker in your corner too. He told me he was your little soldier. So you got the right guys looking out for you and showing you the path that took them all the way to the top. So and you got the right mindset to listen to them and follow the blueprint. So you're gonna go far, man. We appreciate talking to you always, and I look forward to seeing you on Saturday and dapping you up at the wrestling match.
Yes, sir.
All right, take care, Zoe.
I appreciate y'all.
Alonzo Allen, great people from Whale Branch Early College High School. Terrific football player, terrific wrestler, and terrific young man. Track star too. I mean, we had two absolute quintessential prototype three-sport athletes with us tonight, which is my kind of guy. I love a guy with a sport for every season. That's or girl. I like it when you want to go scrap every season, roll out whatever ball it is. We're gonna go compete. That's my kind of person. But I always love talking to Zoe Wes.
Yeah, that's a fantastic young man. It's been really fun to cover ever since his freshman year, where he really started to blow up quickly under Jerry Hatcher, and he's become a constant force and just a menacing guy to go against. You know that he's going to give it his effort, especially defensively, and I think he's really going to challenge himself this offseason, this West wrestling season, which is a great opportunity for him, as we've mentioned, just to grow as an athlete, as a football player. When you're on the mat, it's just a lot different when it's you against somebody else, a one-on-one. I mean, you have that in terms of matchups in football, but like you have a team behind you in wrestling, it's you against the other guy, and you're trying to beat the other guy. So it really instills another sense of belief and confidence and just that intensity that you see on the football field, but it raises it when you're going one-on-one. So it's a great opportunity for him, and looking forward to seeing how he does on the mat and how he can transition that back to the football field this spring and then into next fall. So I love that guy and love talking to this Whale Branch team, the swagger and the energy that we see throughout that program. Certainly, we wish it could have ended a different way, but these kids all, have done a great job. They work tremendously hard, and they've built hopefully a lasting culture over there, which was started by those guys like Dee Delaney and others who have made it big. And we've seen a bunch of Whale Branch Warriors from that little Class 1A school make it to college and beyond, and hopefully, Lonzo will be the next one. That's the goal.
Yeah, I think it's almost a foregone conclusion that he'll play college football somewhere. Where is just a question. I
Yep.
think he's right now a solid D2 recruit with a chance to blossom into a D1 recruit. Potentially. I think he's got the right mentality that he understands the big picture, the whole picture, and he's not going to get caught in that D1 or bust mentality at all. He's going to find the most advantageous situation for him, and he's going to have opportunities. He's got the right guys vouching for him, and in his corner and training him that he's gonna get there. So I have no doubt about that. Here's some random news from Facebook that I just saw. Cole DeMarzo, former Hilton Head High star and star courtesy runner and utility man for the Dixie Boys World Series champs from Beaufort County a few years back in 2017, has just he's just completed his last final exam, and he's graduating with his BSB in finance and has been accepted into graduate school at Wyoming to finish up his career.
Fantastic.
So
Yeah,
random
that's
note from Facebook, but
great.
outstanding.
I mean,
note.
you want to see the production, not just on the field, which he's shown, but in the classroom, to have those solid grades and that solid work ethic, and to have that turn to success, academically, and to give yourself opportunities to continue your education at the graduate level. That's
That's what it's
outstanding.
all about.
I mean, bigger than football. What a great kid, and just so happy for his accomplishments. And he was an absolute stud over his years at Hilton High, and certainly he went to Michigan State trying to find himself. He found a better opportunity for him at Wyoming, and he's really taken it, ran with it on the field and in the classroom. And just so happy to see all that he's accomplished, and we'll always be rooting for him and whatever he decides to do next. And he's one of those guys that is going to be extra motivated and ready to succeed in the field that he chooses. So
Yeah.
huge congratulations to DeMarzo, and wish him luck.
He's a sharp kid, man. I ran into him and his dad at Hilton Head High baseball game a while back, and was great to see him and talk with him. He's just a great kid, and really happy for him and proud of him. But let's shout out some more sponsors. Our varsity sponsors are DDS Web Design and Parker Law Group. DDS Web Design is the best around when it comes to building, hosting, and maintaining websites for businesses and nonprofits that will get them found online and help them do more business. Quite frankly, if you can't get found in a Google search these days, you're in trouble. So DDS will go in and make sure you have all the right search engine optimization elements built into your website so that you can make sure you get found online and do more business. You can find them at ddshhi.com and tell them that Loco sent you. And the Parker Law Group, if you have legal needs, and especially if you're out in Hampton, Colleton, or Jasper counties, they've been handling those for years, and now they've jumped on board to support us and allow us to continue to expand our coverage in those counties and shine a light on more deserving teams and student athletes around the Loco. So thanks to the Parker Law Group and DDS Web Design, our varsity sponsors. And Wes, let's take a little peek ahead to what's coming up. Tomorrow we'll be hoops reporting again tomorrow night because we got another pretty busy slate of high school basketball that we'll be checking out. And then of course Saturday, no podcast Saturday, but we've got tons of wrestling with the championship, the Loco championships over on Hilton Head, as well as USCB, which I'm going to be sitting that one out because I got to coach wrestling. Marcus Walsh from WHHI will be in my chair along with Tony Bruin. So that'll be great on the broadcast against New College of Florida. But what are you looking forward to next couple of days? Where are you headed?
Yeah, so tomorrow I think I might be headed to a couple of different gyms. I think I'm going to start with HHP Buford Academy. I haven't been able to see either of those teams yet, the girls, and I am pumped to see this. You know, despite having a tough loss recently, they've had some time to think about it and get better and prepare for a game that I think could go either way because you got Courtney Campbell, who has just been absolute savant and stud with the ball in her hands.
Yeah.
And my God, the way that she just makes it look effortless by her passing and her shooting from beyond the arc and just the basketball IQ, it's really all there. And cannot wait to see her back on the floor for the first time since last year, because I think that team has really taken a big step forward, and the supporting pieces have gotten better as well. So Buford Academy, of course, you get Kamira Freeman, but I think if you find a way to stop her and try to make someone else beat you, I think that works out well for the Dolphins, who have generally played a good defensive brand over the years. But I expect this one to be a close one between two schools.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good matchup. Yeah. And like you said, for both teams, it comes down to can you stop the star, and I think it's tough.
And hopefully, we get best on best, like we have Freeman guarding Campbell and vice versa.
Yeah, I hope so, because that makes it way more interesting. But I think Campbell has an edge on her. But man, Kamira's a competitor. She's not gonna go quietly. She'll fight to the end. So that'll be a fun little battle between those two, and then which supporting cast can kind of step up. And then the guys' game is fairly interesting too, just because Hilton Head Prep likes to be so what's the word I'm looking for? They're going to run Princeton. They're going to slow it down. They're going to shorten the game. BA likes to get out and run. They got some guys who can get out and run. They like to pressure. So it's kind of a contrasting styles thing that you don't know exactly how it'll shake out. But BA can break a press and they can, pick apart a defense a little bit. So I think Hilton Head Prep's the team to beat there, but I think it's an interesting matchup.
Yeah, the technician type of team that will make you pay if you leave someone open for too long, or they hit that cutter down the middle. And
deliberate. That was the word I was looking for. They're very deliberate.
Very deliberate, and they know how to find the passing lanes and get the ball to the open man and kick it out for an open three. If they hit those shots from beyond the arc, they're extra lethal. But BA, that's a fun young team who I haven't really been able to see much either. But that's a group that can sneak up on somebody if you're not careful, because they've got some veteran guys like Zeke Gonzalez who's been around that program for a while, and some new energy in there as well.
And then the Matthew Makonda is impressive. He's a physical specimen. He can score from all levels. Like he's what we thought he was.
Yep.
So they're interesting. If Dietrich Schuford were healthy and Clay Lohr were healthy, they would be even more interesting, especially Dietrich, just because he's another ball handler, and can get Zeke and Fripp off the ball where they can cut and roll and spot up and things. But that's it's. I'm not sleeping on that team. I'm still convinced they could be a problem. Battery Creek at Hampton County is a pretty interesting boys game. I think Hampton County has a lot of juice, but man, we'll see how good Battery Creek is. If they can make it 4 in a row with this one, like that'll get some attention. Bluffton Beaufort rematch, I think, is really interesting at Beaufort. They're way better at home. That home crowd is good. The Kirkland Crazies are a factor. And then also Patrick Henry and John Paul II. I think JP2 girls should handle that. Fairly easily. Nothing against Patrick Henry. They just don't have as many kids. They're much
boys
depth.
game though.
But the boys is interesting. If Patrick Henry gets healthier, if their kids get over the illness they've had, then that's going to be a really fun game. Yeah, they scored 90.
Barry, that guy, or Hugh or Forrest. We know how lethal those two guys can play, and he's a big week himself. And
we're going to say our players of the week here, so we might want to.
Yeah,
I did too much about him, but no, he lit it up. He put 30 on our boy Doc the other night at Cross. That's great. With 14 steals.
Speaking of other games, Hilton Head, Christiani, and Hammond. I know it's not a local game, but that's a nice litmus test contest for HHCA against the solid Hammond squad.
That's just the boys. The girls are at Jenkins.
Yeah, so
because they're playing in a tournament.
For most of the snug.
Well, the girls are playing in that Savannah tournament. They've got Jenkins tonight or Friday and Statesboro Saturday. Those will be good tests for them.
Yeah. They always schedule tough around this time of year. That comes in handy when you get into region ski tournament play. But yeah, I mean, I expect them to fight hard and look to pick up some scrappy wins. And it's a team that's led by that big three, of course. But I've seen some good stuff from some others and what I saw last week against Cardinals, that was an impressive win against a pretty solid Cardinals team. So hopefully they can keep that up, and then a couple more action on Saturday at the high school level. Bluffton, Hampton County.
Nice afternoon delay, 4:30 and 6. That one's at Estill, by the way. Friday and Saturday are both at Estill High School. Battery Creek at Hampton County and Bluffton at Hampton County, both at Estill. So please note, you're going to Estill, not Varnville. If you're going, I think UCB takes care of business this weekend. Yeah, Richmond Hill, that's a good one. Tough place to play too.
That was a thriller on the boys' side. Seahawks.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of back ends of home and homes, which are always fun to see if they flip the result when they go back home. Like Hampton County, that's one of their 2 losses is to Bluffton, so they're looking forward. They already avenged the one to Hilton Head. Now they want to avenge the one to Bluffton, and they'll be all square.
Yeah.
If you've avenged all your losses, it's almost like being undefeated.
Right.
It's the next best thing.
And then looking ahead to next week on Monday's show, we're going to debut our first ever for this year, our power rankings for boys and girls basketball. So we'll have our first crack of kind of dissecting where everyone stands after the first month of the season. So definitely.
And then on the grind on Wednesday, we're going to bust out some hammer rankings because we'll have a lot of data from this weekend at the Low Country Wrestling Championships at Hilton Head. So going to be great times. That's where I'll be all day Saturday, coaching them up and covering wrestling. Looking forward to that. Friday night, you said you're going over to Beaufort and you might pop in on Bluffton Beaufort too. Is that what the other game you're maybe going to?
Potentially. I was thinking potentially Hilton Head or Christian County Hammond. I think I might just stay there for the.
I got you.
The Loco game with the.
Yeah, I think I'll probably check out PHA JP2.
Yeah, because I think that boys game can be entertaining as well.
I do too. You could at least watch first half and then peace out to get home for Hoops Report. Be all good.
And
well, let's shout out the Loco Booster Club and then let's name our players of the week and call it a night. The Loco Booster Club, we got the Court Lifestyle Pros, Low Country natives Daniel and Debbie Court selling the Loco Lifestyle on Hilton Head Island. Barefoot Floor Care of the Low Country, my guy Chris Odom will get your floors so clean that your feet will thank you. It doesn't matter what surface they are either, any kind of floors. If it's a floor, he'll get it clean. Prime IV Hydration and Wellness is open in Belfair Town Village. Great place to go get juiced up with an IV drip filled with all the vitamins and minerals you need while sitting in their massage chairs and just relaxing while you get regenerated. And then Rooted Living Wellness, my friend Dr. Ambrose Cole over there is the best chiropractor I've come across yet. He's just terrific and not only going to get your body feeling right, but he's also going to give you tips on how to keep it feeling that way and stay out of his office. Not many chiropractors want to help you stay out of their office, but Dr. Ambrose Cole does. Eagle Creations is a great spot if you need promotional items, custom apparel, or custom gift baskets with proudly Southern regional goods to say appreciate you or happy holidays. Calling Eagle Creations. And Jay's Barbershop, Jay Alfonso, great friend of Loco, had him on the grind last night, and I was texting with him today, and love that guy. He's been a great supporter, and it's a great spot to get your hair cut or just hang out and listen to some great conversation. And as Jay told us last night, people aren't talking about basketball anymore in the barbershop. They're talking about wrestling over there now. So it's a place for all people at Jay's Barbershop. But thanks so much to all of our sponsors who make this all possible, and we look forward to adding many more to the roster. I would also be remiss if I didn't shout out the Reverence Wrestling Club, which we need to add them to the MVP sponsors because they came in huge and helped us get going with the Loco grind, and they're helping us find more sponsors for that all the time as we continue to elevate sport by sport, what's going on for the kids here in the Low Country to try to get, find their way in athletics and help them develop into whole people and model citizens like the kids we get to talk to on here because they're awesome kids. They got it together. But Wes, one thing left to do, and that is to name our players of the week, and we have got ample people to choose from. So, I mean, if you want to pick 2 or 3, I'm fine with it. Just shout out some kids.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go with my boy Harrison Skinner from Hilton Head Christian Academy. 22-point effort and a nice win against Bethesda. He has been lighting it up in his recent games, and started off with a heck of a showing this week. Looking forward to seeing what he does against Hammond coming up on Friday, but he's really found his form from beyond the arc. That guy is fun to watch when he gets going. Hugh Ferry as well, shout out another boy. 28 points, 5 boards, and 5 steals as well. He was doing it all, 4 assists, lighting up that score sheet. In a game where they only had 6 healthy players, he nearly led them to victory, 75-70 loss against Calvin Academy. But, man, what an individual effort that he had. And then 30 burger in a 96-71 offensive showcase over Cross, where he had a double-double with points and steals and 7 assists, 6 rebounds. So he was close to something really special.
He had 14 steals.
14 steals is outrageous. That is something else.
That's insane.
But I'll tell you what, when you have that high emotion and confidence after winning football, oh, you want to keep it going, don't you? Oh, yes, you do.
You do. Yeah, no. Well, and baseball. I mean, that guy hasn't had a season that ended without a championship in a minute here. Like he's getting used to this winning thing. He's not gonna go quietly. And a bunch of those guys have been on all those teams.
Yeah.
So no, that's awesome stuff from Hugh Ferry. Great kid too, man. I've really enjoyed getting to know those kids.
For my girls player of the week, I am gonna go with from my alma mater, Leah Jackson. With a beast. I'll tell you another impressive performance. 17 points, 16 boards. I mean, just an absolute. I mean, doing what Linda Young does and just grabbing those rebounds. She has been an absolute revelation for the Seahawks squad so far.
She's been just what they needed. I mean, just what they needed. She's really stepped up. She's become, you can tell, kind of the focal point, and it runs through her now, and it's pretty effective. Now, great choice there. Great choice. For my boys player of the week, man, there's still a bunch to choose from, and this guy's stats aren't quite as eye-popping as some others, but I got to give Battery Creek boys basketball some love, and their leader right now has been Elijah Mathis. So I'm going to shout him out. He had 12 points, 6 boards, and 3 assists in a win over Ridgeland Hardyville on Friday. Then Saturday, he had 13 points and 4 assists in a win over Bluffton. And then he had 21 and 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, and a block, and a 45-44 double OT win over Whale Branch. So again, 45 in 50 minutes of basketball, or not 50, 42 minutes of basketball, and he scored 21 of them. So that's a pretty good night for Elijah Mathis, who has really been fun to watch. He's a high volume guy, so the shooting percentage might not be great every night, but he's electric. He brings energy. He gets after it on defense. He can jump out of the gym. He can score at all levels, and they really just feed off of him. I think he brings the energy that they need. So I'm going to shout out Elijah Mathis, but certainly give some credit to his teammates as well. They've been terrific surrounding him. And then girls, it's hard to argue with what Takoya did the other night. So Takoya Hayward, first of all, they played from Bluffton. Takoya Hayward on Friday night, they played Military Magnet, which is the #1 team in Class 1A and very good. And they did it with 5 players because people were sick. 2 of the players they were down were Jelena Mosley and Amira Brown, 2 of their best players. So they were up against it and they got hammered. But Takoya had 19 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 steals, and did everything she could do. And then she came out on Tuesday and she got her running mates back, but they were probably not, totally full speed. And they were playing Beaufort, and they're not doing great right now. But Takoya put up 23 points, 13 rebounds, 7 assists, and 6 steals. And I mean, she's something else. And I know the competition level wasn't great on Tuesday, but I mean, that's a ridiculous line. And really, it's more impressive what she did with not much around her on Friday against a really good Military Magnet team. So I'll shout out Takoya. And then also give some love to Liz Duncan, who's been getting it lately. We've been getting her a lot of love. Freshman from May River, she's emerged. She had 15 against Ridgeland Hardyville and has been outstanding her first year playing varsity basketball. So that's some love to go around. That's some love.
Yeah.
How about one more? A wrestler. Jaden Priester, big tight end for Beaufort High. He went 3-0 with 3 pins last night. He is a beast at 215. Absolute beast. I think he's at 215. He's really tough there. So hope to see him against somebody really good on Saturday. There should be some really good ones at 215 for sure. So, but I think that should do it for tonight, Wes. Outstanding show. Love talking with Carnell and Zoe, both birthday boys. We didn't even tell. Did we tell Zoe happy birthday? I don't even know if we did. But
shoot! Well, happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Zoe!
Invested in all that he was doing. That
I know. Forgot all about it, but no, it's Zoe's birthday. So happy birthday to Zoe! Outstanding young man. Great work from Carnell Warren as well. And thanks to all of our sponsors and everybody who showed up to listen or watch. We appreciate you. And we'll be back tomorrow night for Loco Hoops Report. We'll be rounding up all the action from gyms around the Loco. If you're going to be out at a gym and you want to get in on here and tell us about it, we will welcome you. Let us know. We'll get you that link. And we'll talk hoops tomorrow, 10 o'clock on the Loco Media Network. But until then, go Loco.
The LowcoSports Lowdown podcast is a production of Loco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing.